All right, so today what I want to do is show you how to build a color extraction tool like this. What I have here on the page is a canvas element with an image loaded into it. As I move my cursor around over top of the canvas, what it's doing is it is finding the exact pixel underneath wherever I am. And in the little box over here that says current pixel, this is the color underneath the exact pixel that I'm on top of. So I'm moving around and getting that color. And then the box that I'm dragging around, so on top of the canvas itself, under my mouse, I've got this little box. It's 41 pixels by 41 pixels. That's just the size that I chose to use. And what it does is it measures the average color underneath that entire square. So 41 pixels by 41 pixels. I'm getting all the red, green, and blue values. I'm averaging them out and getting the average color to display. So if I'm inside of here, and if I click, anywhere I click, it's going to give me two squares down at the bottom. One which is the pixel directly underneath my cursor. The other one is the color of that square. It's the average color. And I get the RGB values being written out inside those boxes. So as we move around, we get these different colors. And it will keep adding them and adding them wherever we are on the page. So it's a useful tool if you're trying to take an image that you've been given and you want to extract those colors as part of a color scheme that you're building. This could be something that you could use. All right, so I want to explain the math first of all. So I built a second page right here so I could explain what's going on. Because I've loaded the image onto a canvas element, the canvas element has a method that is called getImageData. What that does is it has a property called data, and that property is an array of every single pixel. So here we have what is representing an image that's 6 by 3, and this is 6 wide and 3 tall. Every one of these pixels has 4 numbers that represent it: the red, the green, the blue, and the alpha channel. So those 4 numeric values, each one of them is a value between 0 and 255, so they're small numbers, but there can be a lot of them. I mean, this is 6 by 3. If you get up to be an image that's larger, like the one that I've got here, which is 900 by 600, something like that's going to have 2.1 million, roughly, pixels. And so we're going to have a lot of data to work through. So how do I get the exact, say if I'm on this one right here, if this is the pixel that I'm on top of with my cursor in the image, how do I know what are the indexes from that data array to extract? So I wanted to explain the little bit of math that you need to understand to be able to do this and use this. So if we took a look at the pixel numbers, this is the first pixel, this is the 6th pixel, and so on. As we go down through there, they're numbered from left to right, top to bottom. So right now, this is the last one I hovered over, 5.2. So pixel 5.2. Now, to get the first array index, you take the total number of columns. So that's basically the width in pixels of your image. Multiply that by the current row number that you're in. So right here, 6 is the total width. I'm on row number 2, so 0, 1, 2. Then we take the column number that are in and we add that on. So in row 0, it's really just the column number, pixel 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the numbers. In the second one, it's no longer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever this number is, I have to add on the ones that came before it. So this becomes 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can see down here this number is changing as we move along, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have those numbers. Now, if you take the index number and multiply it by 4, because there's 4 array values for each one of those pixels, that gets you to this. Numbers 68 through 71. Red, green, blue, alpha. If we go back to the very first pixel, it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3. There it is. And then the next ones, 4 through 7, 8 through 11, 12 through 15, and so on. So this is all the math that you need. And I set this page up so that I could come in here and actually change these numbers just to let you play around with it if you wanted to change it. My script reads those two numbers and builds the grid. So here we have it, 4 by 4 pixel. This all still works. So wherever we are, it will give me those array positions. It gives me the pixel index that I multiply by 4 to get those values. All right, so that is the math of how to get which array numbers. As we move around over top of this, we're just saying, okay, what is the current pixel position? I am this many pixels in, this many pixels down. That is my column and row position. The width of my canvas, the 900 pixels, well, that's my total width right here. Here it's 4. Here it's 900. So we take the 900, which is the total columns, times whatever row we're in. That's how many pixels down. And then you add how many pixels over. All those together gives us this. And then we multiply it by 4 to figure out, okay, 4 times 15 is 60. 60 plus 1, 60 plus 2, 60 plus 3. Those are the array values that we want. Okay, so then just quickly to go through this script, I don't want to spend a lot of time walking through the script, but I'll explain how it works. Since I already have it here, I'm not going to rewrite the script. My app runs simply, I'm going to call an init function when this loads, when DOM content loaded, so when the HTML is loaded. I'm getting the size of my canvas element, all that. And I'm going to, in my canvas element, I decided just to make this easy for people to change and play around with it, or myself included, if I change the name of the image here. So I can put in the image and I will read that value and set that as the source of an image element that I'm creating. Now, I'm not putting this image on the page. What I'm doing is I'm creating an image element in memory. I'm never adding it to the page. I'm just having it in memory, and I'm going to set its source to whatever is inside the canvas. So we can put that image there as long as it comes from the same domain. We're not going to run into any security issues or CORS issues. As long as it's from the same domain, this is going to work. So we get that data source, we can add it to the canvas when that image has finished loading. So image is loaded into the image element that is in memory. Then we call the drawImage method for the canvas context. We put that image on there saying starting at position 0, 0, and then we get image data. This is, give me the array of all those red, green, blue alpha values for every one of these pixels. So we create this one array that's going to have, like I said before, 2.16 million elements inside there, which is our pixels times 4. That's how many array elements we have. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to save it in a global property, or not global, but up here in a property belonging to my app object. This is the array. So later on, I can work with it. I've got a mouse move listener, so anytime I'm moving over the canvas, I'm going to call this function getPixel. And when I click, I'm going to call the function addBox. That's the one, when we click here, it gives us these boxes at the bottom. So mouse move is calling getPixel, and clicking it calls addBox. The pixel method, we get our width of our canvas, that's the 900. We get our X and Y, so the event object is going to have an offset Y and offset X property. That gives me my X and Y coordinates where I am. I pass the number of columns, so that 900, I pass in the X and Y position. Those 3 values, I have a function that I can use again and again for doing the calculation. And it's the calculation from right here. It's just this. This is all we're doing. We're getting this, getting the first number, we're multiplying this by 4 to get the first number, adding on the other values, and then passing it back as an object. So get pixel color, we pass in those 3 numbers. So here we'll shrink this down, get down to the get pixel function. Here's that formula from the grid page. Do that, multiply it by 4, and then those are the index numbers. That plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, that gives us our red, green, and blue and alpha values. We return that object back up here, and then using that, we extract the red, green, and blue to build our color string. I'm not using alpha. I don't need the alpha channel. This is a JPEG. It has no alpha in it. If you wanted that, well, we've got the value here. You would just have to take the alpha value that comes back. It is a number out of 255. So if you divide it by 255, it's going to give you a percentage. And that is, if you're doing RGBA, the A is a decimal number. So we just take this calculation and put it in there as the alpha value. And then we set the background color of the little box that is off to the left, right here, the current pixel. As we move around with get pixel, we're resetting that color again and again and again and again. At the very end, this is how I build the box around where the mouse is moving. So get pixel is called on mouse move. It sets the current pixel in the little box off to the left, and then it calls the get average. Get average, this one's a little bit more complex. Here, what we have to do is I take the coordinates, whatever pixel I'm on, and then that pixel, that XY coordinate, I have to go over to the left by 20 pixels, over to the right by 20 pixels. I have to go up and I have to go down by 20 pixels. So I'm creating a box that is 41 pixels by 41 pixels. Where my mouse is, that's the center pixel, and then it's 20 pixels in every direction from there. That is going to be my square. So we have to figure out those numbers. My columns and rows for the whole image, I'm going to use that. I'm going to clear the rectangle. And that means every time I'm moving my mouse here, I'm actually deleting everything off the canvas, and I'm putting the image back again. Now, I'm not reloading the image. My image is still in memory, so I'm just putting it on there. One thing that browsers and computers are really good at doing is just sort of throwing pixels on the screen. You want to paint an image, it can do that again and again and again and again, very, very fast. All it's doing is reading those red, green, blue values and spitting them out onto the canvas. So that it does, as long as the image is in memory, it does it very quickly. We get our X and Y, we have our columns, our X and our Y. So we're going to be able to call that method again to get our red, green, and blue values right here. We're going to be able to call this again, but we have to call it for every one of the pixels inside of our square. And so our next point right here is, this is the bounding box for the image. Because I don't want my square to go off, I want it to always be 41 by 41. You'll notice when I get to the side here, it stops right at the edge. And that's because I go in 20 pixels from the top or the bottom. So the midpoint right here, that I'm not going outside of this. It will not go outside of that square. That's what I'm doing here with the min and max, is I'm saying, okay, take the size of the image and go in 20 pixels. I'm not allowed to go any further than that. These variables here, reds, greens, blues, I need to add up all the reds, all the greens, and all the blues from every one of the pixels in my 41 by 41 pixel square. So we're going to loop through all of those pixels. And how do we know which one is which? Well, I'm just going to take my inset number, that's the 20 pixels. So I say X is going to start at -1 times the inset. So it's 20 pixels less than, let me say that again. I'm taking my inset, which is 20, and multiplying that by -1. So we've got -20 is the starting point, and +20 is the ending point. So X minus 20, Y minus 20 to X plus 20, Y plus 20. So we've got an inset, a nested loop, the X on the outside, the Y on the inside, So I'm looking at every possible combination of X and Y values. So I'm going through them row after row after row to loop through it all. So the outer loop is my X coordinates. The bottom one is my Y coordinates. So I'm looping through all of these, and I'm calling getPixelColor once for each X and Y coordinates. And then my offset, that's where my mouse position is. So starting at the offset X and Y, adding on my loop counter, that gives me the, hey, 20 pixels to the left, 20 pixels to the right, 20 pixels up, 20 pixels down. It gives me that range of numbers around my current mouse position. Okay, then we just add the red, green, and blue values that came back onto these. Once I have the totals, I'm going to have to divide them by the number of pixels in that square to get an average. So 41 times 41. That gives me the total number of pixels in my little grid. I could have just hard-coded the number, but I wanted to have it in here so it was explicit that it's 41 by 41. Divide them, round the number off. That is my average red, green, and blue. We have to use decimals for these, so that's why we're doing math.round. And we create our brand new color string, just like we did for the exact pixel value. And on the canvas, one other thing that I'm doing is around my box is the fill style is going to be this color we just generated, but I'm also drawing a stroke, which is 2 pixels wide and white around the box. You'll see as I move around here, there is that little white pixel line that is around the box. It doesn't have to be there, it just makes it easier to spot on the page. And then I'm saving our color string in this variable called average, this property of my app object, so I can use it when the person clicks. Here's the color for the exact pixel, here's the color for the average. Those are the color strings that we're saving inside of app.average, right here. And up here, we were saving it in app.pixel. So those two values are saved so that when the user clicks and this final function, this add box is done, I can get the value of app.pixel and app.average to write on those boxes. Okay, so that's how this function is working. This little extraction tool. If you're looking for something to do with this, something you can change in it to make it a little bit more useful, something that you could use to practice the code with and make sure that you really understand it, I would recommend that you watch the video that I have on how to put images from a video, so screen grabs, and making it look like the canvas is playing a video. So the link to that one's up at the top there. If you take that functionality and you play a video on here, you could add the controls for playing and pausing the video, but you can also do this same sort of thing and extract the colors from a screen grab from a video. So instead of just static images, try to get this working with a video and screen grabs. All right, so hope you found that interesting. Hope you have fun playing with that. All the code for this is linked to down in the description. If you have any questions, I'll answer what I have time for. But as always, thanks for watching.